are standing on the shoulders of the people that came before us. Every generation comes in to balance an energy of something that came before. And right now, the group consensus is country to country, it's completely different, but mostly it's around the arena of and correct me if I'm wrong, in your generation, men hold a lot of power sexually, whereas women are wanting to create relationships. Women have become very clear. They've become courageous in saying exactly what they want. Men also have been courageous to say, I don't want a relationship at this point in time. And so vulnerable conversation with other vulnerable conversation has created this availability. Women no longer have the stigma of you have to have children. I know when I was growing up, if someone said, who else grew up with this? All women want children. I grew up with all women want children. It was, if you didn't have children, it was unnatural. If you didn't want children, there was something wrong with you. That's an instinct. As science has come about, it has cleared us up, and men having more quote unquote power around this is women have disconnected from the understanding of what it actually, can we truly just have sex? And they've related it down to a squirt rather than a connection on all levels. This is also the most unhappy generation as well, even though we are sexually liberated. The 26, the under 30, the me generation, they are the most unhappy, the most suicidal of all generations that went before. Part of that is not understanding this process right here. Part of it is women and men think this is the way to be in order to have the other things. We have to separate out our relationship. We can only have the relationship, or we can only have the job, or we can only have the money. We can only have this by excluding the sacredness of something outside of it. Do you want to speak to that just for a second? Or like being able to have it all is not something that this generation is really connected to. And the reason is, instead of knowing how to talk to the person across from you, they're connected to their little box. And so they don't even know the conversation. They don't know how to read energy. And so there's this communication of, let's have this squirt. And they're missing this deeper level of committed, connected experience, not for the other person, but for themselves. But the instant also leads to more dissatisfaction and being separate from the whole process. We're disconnected from our bodies. That generation is disconnected, and I was truly disconnected from my body until I learned to see myself as pure. And I saw myself as pure when I was pregnant with my daughter. I saw myself as pure at that point, but not prior to that, because I saw her as a pure being. I wound up dealing with and getting through all of the issues that kept me from being pure in order that she would have a pure experience, which is my being of service. You have an automatic way of being. We each do. We're these little engines being a particular way until we become aware of it. We're not knowing all the stuff that we're creating.